Hello and welcome back to www.wizard-blog.com. This week I had the dubious pleasure of seeing the horror movie Drag Me to Hell. I have to admit that I enjoy horror movies quite a bit because I like to see what new thing Hollywood's going to come up with. And I actually enjoy some of the plots. I find most of them to be tired old plots, but every now and then you get a new one. And I especially enjoy them if they're not too gory and they have some nice twists so that I can't obviously sit there and know exactly what's going to happen way before it does. And in that respect, I have to say Drag Me to Hell does deliver. It's a pretty good film with some good twists to it. That being said, from a wizard's point of view, one thing I found to be a bit disappointing was supposedly this demon that a shamed gypsy woman sends after the main character is said to be a Lamia. Now, when I first heard that's what it was, I got quite excited because I know what a Lamia is, and I wanted to see how Hollywood would portray it. But I was a bit disappointed when the demon they portrayed was nothing more than your stereotypical demon, complete with cloven hooves. And so from that perspective, not only was I disappointed, but I wanted to share with people what the true story of the Lamia is. There is, in fact, Lamia is not a type of demon. It is a singular, specific demon. There's only one of them. It is a bloodthirsty demon that is principally a woman, but has a penis, and eats children. And that's what a Lamia is. Now here's the story of how it came to happen. This comes from ancient Greek mythology. Once upon a time, the Lamia was actually the queen of Libya, a beautiful woman, known both for her grace and her beautiful body. And men that passed by her would literally fall down at her feet. She was that drop-dead gorgeous. Now, such a beautiful creation that's adored by so many men definitely cannot stay hidden from the gods. And what god do you think was the first to notice her? If you know anything about Greek mythology, it won't surprise you at all. The first god to notice her was the horniest of the gods, and that was the king god himself of Olympus, Zeus. Now Zeus heard about this woman, and he started thinking about her, and he thought, man, I have to have her. In 3 days he thought this, and then he thought of the best way he could do it in a nice sneaky plot where he could sneak down and seduce her. And so he comes down from Mount Olympus 3 days after hearing about her and does just that. He seduces her. Now, he's a very virile god, Zeus. So it's no surprise 9 months later we find that the queen of Libya is now bearing 5 children. Now, of course, a human woman that has had intercourse with a god knows that her children are in trouble because technically they're half gods. So then they would be able to jockey for position or power amongst the other gods. So because she realizes that this is a very dangerous thing, she keeps the fact of who their father is hidden. Now this works pretty well until the point where the children begin to reach their teen years. And in those years they begin to develop powers that are recognized as being very similar to Zeus's by the surrounding people. And as word begins to spread, Zeus's wife, Hera, catches wind of the whole thing. Now she is absolutely furious. Not only does she feel shame because Zeus has had sex with a human woman, but this is not the first time. And it won't be his last time. Like I said, Zeus is a very virile god, and he's done this kind of thing frequently to this point. So she decides that she's going to go down and not only wreak vengeance, but put a message out to any human woman that would even think about coupling with Zeus to make her totally rethink the plan. So what she does to this poor queen is just awful. The first thing she does is she beholds the queen's children. She realizes that they could go against her children, and she needs to eliminate that threat. She decides to do it in a most horrible way. She takes a knife, she cuts them up, and then she forces the poor human queen to eat her own children. Now, needless to say, after such a vast traumatic experience, the queen goes absolutely crazy at this point. She's basically a babbling idiot. You could see her just babbling away with the blood of her children all over her face. But Hera's very vindictive, and she's not done yet. She wants a message that's going to last forever. So the next thing she does is to stop this woman from ever being desired again, as if anybody would desire her with her being a babbling idiot. Hera's going to make sure. And what she does is she creates a flaccid phallus and puts it onto the queen. And then the final thing she does to stress her point and make this woman a complete message, she gives her eternal life. So now what you've got is this totally mad, demonic type creature that lives forever. And that's the true story of the Lamia. And that's all I wanted to share with you tonight. I know it's a bit of an unsettling story, but just from the viewpoint of a wizard and a lore master, I thought it important that you see the true history of the Lamia, especially if you should decide that you want to go and see the movie. And should you get the opportunity personally, I would tell you to go ahead. There's a fairly interesting plot behind it. But that's all I wanted to share with you tonight, and thank you for coming and listening to the story. And I look forward to talking to you all again.